It's sad to say that people go missing every day. Some are found alive, some are found deceased, and some are just never found at all. This is one of those cases. This is a 20-year mark, and there are still no leads or answers. And this is the case of Brian Shaffer. I am Sergeant Jackson, and 20 years ago, when I first have gotten assigned to the case, it was an everyday guy didn't come home from the bar, people got worried, but in lots of cases, adults have secret lives that they don't want others to know about. But when I went into the case with an open mind, I was told that Brian and his girlfriend were headed off on vacation the following Monday. So when he didn't show up to the airport, his family got worried. And that leads back to 48 hours before. It was March 31st, 2006. Brian was in a good mood. He was going to spend the evening having dinner with his dad and go out for a few drinks with some friends afterwards. But what he was really excited for was the following Monday, when he and his girlfriend were going to go on vacation for spring break. Brian met with his dad that evening. They had a great meal, some wine, and he was telling his father about his spring break plans and that he was going with his girlfriend. They finished up dinner, and he gave his dad a hug and told him he would see him later. His father had no idea that this would be the last time that he would ever see his son again. At 9 p.m., Brian arrived at the first bar. He and his friends had planned to go bar hopping to kick off spring break. He laughed and joked and drank and then went on to the next bar. Around 1:15 a.m., Brian ended up at a bar called the Ugly Tuna. Brian can be seen entering the bar on CCTV. This bar, you had to enter in the mall like an entrance. Upstairs was a movie theater, but you had to take an escalator to get to it. Brian was seen drinking and having a good time like everybody else. Around 1:55 a.m., Brian was seen talking to a couple girls outside of the bar on CCTV. Just before 2 a.m., Brian was seen walking back into the bar. After that, no camera or person saw him ever again. A whole day and a half had went by before anyone noticed he was missing, because the girlfriend assumed he was with his parents and friends, packing for the trip, while the family and friends assumed he was with his girlfriend. But when he didn't show up to the airport Monday morning, they called and reported him missing. We had interviewed bar staff, other bar patrons, cab drivers in the area, yet no one had seen him. The bar was kind enough to give over their CCTV footage. Our investigators looked over the footage for hours, and there was no sign of Brian ever leaving the bar after he re-entered at 2 a.m. Now, obviously, people don't vanish into thin air, so there are a couple theories. Theory 1. Although there were cameras facing the front of the bar, let's not forget the bar was located in a shopping mall. There was an escalator that was going up to the second floor, where a movie theater was. Had he somehow slipped through a side door and stumbled up the escalator and somehow got out the building? A team did search the entire theater and found no trace of him. Had he secretly wanted a different life and ran away? But why buy tickets to spring break? Theory 2. Foul play. Was somebody else involved with Brian and somehow snuck him out of the building by a cart and kidnapped him? Was he sold in human trafficking? Or had something happened inside the club and the owners and staff covered it up and hid his body in a wall or something? So many online theories. Yet to this day, no answers. And he's never been found. His family would like closure. If he is deceased, or if he's out there alive, they beg him to call. It's been 20 years since I first took over this case, and it still haunts me to this day. What really happened to Brian Shaffer?